Austin Martin played high school baseball at Trinity Christian Academy in his hometown of Jacksonville, Florida. Initially committed to Jacksonville University, he later switched to Vanderbilt and became a part of the nation's top-ranked recruiting class as a high school senior. Martin was ranked the 92nd best high school prospect in the country and 18th amongst infielders. Until this point, Martin had remained unsure whether he would choose to attend Vanderbilt or opt for the Major League Draft. The decision was settled over breakfast with head coach Tim Corbin, where Corbin explained the distinctive experience of playing for a top-tier team in the prestigious SEC. When asked about the decision, Martin said, quote-unquote, "I really can't explain it. I just really love team baseball. In the minor leagues, it's a job, and I just wanted to play in a team atmosphere for a few more years." The Cleveland Indians still decided to draft Martin in the 37th round of the 2017 draft, even though he had committed to attending Vanderbilt. Choosing college baseball over starting his professional career may have been the best decision Martin made after high school. Before we continue, if you love stories about guys we forgot about, be sure to drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos. In his freshman season, Martin became a staple in the Vandy lineup and led all hitters on the team with a .323 average, while leading all of the SEC in steals with 21. In 51 regular season games, he showcased his versatility by playing all over the diamond, including first base, shortstop, third base, center field, and left field. Out of nowhere, Martin emerged as one of the nation's premier leadoff hitters, boasting an impressive .443 on-base percentage, which ranked him 5th in the country. Vanderbilt's season came to a close in the Super Regional, where they were eliminated by Mississippi State. Martin's sophomore season is where the world began to take notice of potentially one of the top hitters in the country, and he certainly lived up to expectations. The 2019 Vanderbilt team could arguably be considered the best in the university's history, given their remarkable achievement of 59 wins, which set an SEC single-season record. Additionally, they established 5 single-season records in home runs, RBIs, walks, runs, and strikeouts. Out of the gate, Martin jumped out to a 10-game hitting streak to start the season, where he hit .512 during that stretch. His season was nothing short of outstanding, with 2 separate streaks of reaching base in 37 consecutive games and another streak of 23 consecutive games. After a freshman season where Martin played all over the diamond, this season he established himself as a third baseman with 52 starts and excelled when it counted. In SEC regular season games, he posted a .424 average in 118 at-bats and led the SEC in average, hits per game, on-base percentage, and runs. His outstanding performance earned him recognition as a Golden Spike semifinalist and a spot on both the All-SEC first team and the SEC All-Defensive team. Vandy ultimately swept through the regionals and cleaned house in the College World Series, defeating Michigan in 3 games to take home a national championship. Martin finished his career at Vanderbilt slashing .368, .474, .533 with an OPS over 1,000 in 140 games. 2020 was a distinctive one for sports worldwide, and the baseball season was abruptly canceled after just 16 games. During this short period, Martin showed promising signs of potentially having a better season than he did in 2019, having already hit 3 home runs with an OPS over 1,100. The 2020 draft was bizarre for many reasons, and for the first time in history was only 5 rounds. Across the industry, Martin was widely regarded as the purest hitter in the entire draft. Projections placed him in the top 3 picks, with some even speculating that he might go number 1 overall to the Tigers. In the moments leading up to the draft, it appeared increasingly likely that the Tigers would select Martin as the number 1 pick. However, to the surprise of many, Martin fell in the draft and was eventually picked 5th overall by the Toronto Blue Jays. The Tigers ultimately went with another collegiate bat from Arizona State, Spencer Torkelson. Shane Farrell, the Blue Jays amateur scouting director, expressed his surprise but also his excitement about the opportunity to acquire Martin, who was widely regarded as the top pure hitter available in the draft. Martin eventually signed for over $7 million and quickly drew the label of steal of the draft as he embarked on his professional journey with the Blue Jays. However, since signing, he's failed to flash the bat we saw at Vandy and has been very inconsistent. The Blue Jays opted to assign the then 22-year-old Martin to AA New Hampshire, where he played in 56 games. This stint may have highlighted the peak of Martin's performance since he turned pro. Throughout those games, he hit .281 and had an OPS over 800. In search of pitching at the deadline, the Blue Jays shipped Martin and pitcher Simeon Woods Richardson to the Twins in exchange for ace Jose Berrios. At the time, Martin was ranked the 22nd best prospect in all of baseball and was 2nd in the Blue Jays organization behind pitcher Nate Pearson. Martin concluded the season with the Twins' AA affiliate, putting up a solid performance in the final 37 games. During this period, he recorded a .254 average with 3 home runs, 19 RBIs, and an OPS of .779. He wrapped up 2021 hitting .270 in 93 games, racking up 18 doubles, 14 stolen bases with 5 home runs and 35 RBIs. He also reached base over 41% of the time and had an OPS approaching 800. Entering the 2022 season, Martin's prospect status saw a significant decline due to his subpar performance in 2021. He went from 22nd to 52nd on baseball's top 100 list. Nevertheless, he was still ranked second in the Twins farm system behind Royce Lewis. Martin had expressed his intentions to simplify his approach in hopes of generating more power during the season, but unfortunately this attempt did not yield the desired results. He began the season in AA playing in 63 games before being sidelined for 6.5 weeks after a torn UCL in his non-throwing elbow. During this time, he only managed to rack up 11 extra base hits, including a lone home run. Martin returned from injury and put together his best month of the year in September, slashing .268, .405, and .423 with 7 extra base hits and 89 plate appearances. The season wasn't what we come to expect from Martin, as in 90 games in AA he had .241 with 2 home runs and 32 RBIs. He had 13 doubles, stole 34 bags, and an OPS of .683. After a disappointing season, Martin was chosen to represent the Twins in the Arizona Fall League, providing him with an opportunity to build on his solid performance in September. However, up to that point, not only had Martin dropped out of baseball's top 100 list, but he was also no longer ranked in the top 10 within the Twins organization. Martin went on to return to his Vanderbilt form and had an outstanding 21-game stretch. During this period, he had .374 with 6 doubles, had 11 RBIs, 10 stolen bases, and an OPS approaching .950 and 97 at-bats. This was a positive development not just for Martin, but also the Twins organization. Twins president of baseball operations Derek Falvey hailed it as one of the best finish stories of the year. Entering 2023, Austin Martin had a chip on his shoulder, fueled by the fact that his prospect status had all but disappeared. He began the season ranked as the 12th best prospect in the Twins organization, ready to prove himself once again. As spring training began, Martin suddenly disappeared from spring lineups, and the Twins later announced that he'd been sidelined due to a UCL sprain in his right elbow. This was a massive blow for Martin after he looked to continue what he had built on during the Arizona Fall League. Martin had this to say about the injury, and now anticipated a long road back, as many began to speculate him needing to undergo Tommy John surgery. However, to the relief of many, he managed to avoid surgery and made his return a little over 2 months later after being sidelined. After participating in 8 rehab games in rookie and A-ball, Austin Martin made his 2023 debut at the AAA level, marking his first experience at any level beyond AA. After a really slow start out of the gate where Martin hit just .217 in the month of July with 4 extra base hits, he picked it up in August and raised his batting average nearly 60 points after hitting .329. Surprisingly, there was an unexpected surge in the power department for Martin as he launched 4 home runs during the month. Notably, he continued to excel in his ability to draw more walks than strikeouts, a skill he had consistently demonstrated throughout his pro career. Once again, we took 2 steps forward to take 3 steps back as Martin endured another subpar month of September. He hit just .228 in 16 games and racked up only 4 extra base hits and had an OPS of .717. Defensively, Martin primarily manned second base, although he did see some action in left and center field. After playing in just 59 games, Martin hit .263 with 6 home runs and 28 RBIs and racked up 11 doubles and 16 stolen bases with an OPS of .791. He ended the season dropping to the 20th best prospect in the Twins organization. With a WRC plus of 106, Martin's performance was just above average, leading many to question whether we might be witnessing the end of a player who was once hailed as possessing the purest bat in his draft class and considered a can't-miss prospect.